My name's Danielle, and today we're going to be talking about exploring new careers. So this is something that a lot of newcomers experience, coming into a new country, and then maybe you want to try something different from what you did in your home country, or there's some obstacles to doing what you're trained to do in your home country. So then you decide to try something else. So we'll talk about a bunch of different things. Before we get into the content, I want to acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoqiyik, whose ancestors, along with the Mi'kmaq and Passamaquoddy nations, signed friendship and peace treaties with the British Crown in the 1700s. So in today's session, we're going to talk about why people change careers, so the different reasons, and what that kind of looks like for people making that decision. We're going to talk about doing a personal inventory and the SWOT technique. So this is kind of a first step to making a transition, is to kind of do some self-evaluation and see what you need out of your jobs and what you're looking for. And then we're going to look at 8 practical steps to making a career transition. So these are going to be kind of an action plan if you are planning to change careers or industries. So let's get into it. So why do people change careers? There's many reasons why some may consider changing a career. So it could be looking for a higher pay. Maybe they're too stressed at their current job, trying to find a work-life balance or more flexibility. This one is a really big key reason why people here in Canada change careers or change jobs. Looking for more opportunity for advancement. So if there's kind of a block and you're not getting the option to get promoted in the current position that you're in, you might look at a different company, a different industry to get those opportunities. The feeling of appreciation. So if your job is not fulfilling for you in that manner, that you don't feel like your work is appreciated or recognized, you may look for something different. Some people are looking for a new challenge, so something new, something they can learn, or something they've never done before. If you have new interests, so maybe when you were in university and you were young, or in college, you started a career, you went into a certain area of study, and now as you've gotten older, maybe that interest has shifted. Maybe you have a new interest that you're looking to get into. Just gonna admit someone, there we go. And finally, especially for newcomers, this is a new start in a new country. So it's the chance to kind of have a new beginning. So let's look at some of the statistics. So here in Canada, about 1 in 4 university graduates will go back to school or change careers. So that's quite a few people. About 1/4 of the people who go to university will go back to school or change careers. Here, on average, Canadians will hold many more jobs than previous generations. So there is a forecast of people having 15 jobs over their person's professional life. So this is a big shift. I know when a couple generations before me, so it would be my grandparents' age, 70 to 80 years old now, they would have had maybe 1 or 2 jobs in their lifetime, and they would have worked there for many, many years. And now there's been a shift to people having a certain job for a couple years and then changing, and then just having that cycle of, a couple years here, a couple years there, getting more different experiences. According to a 2019 study, people switched careers. 62% of them answer that they switched careers for a better pay, and 57% of the people who were polled said that they were changing careers for more opportunity for growth. So learning or promotion or that kind of thing. And then, especially now in this time of pandemic, nearly 1 in 4 people considered a career change. So this global event has affected the market. So a lot of people have considered changing careers. So this is a survey of Canadians in 2014. That was done in 2014, and it asked, how many jobs have you had in your career? So you can see here in this first pie chart, most people have had more than 5 jobs in their career, which is a lot. So it really illustrates how many people will look at changing careers in their life. So this is not necessarily changing industries, but changing positions. So it could be within the same industry, it could be the same position. Whereas if we look at the second pie chart, is how many different career paths have you followed? So most people have followed 2 or more career paths. So that's really completely changing industries, maybe going back to school, and trying something completely different from what you were doing in the first place. And then here we have a little quote from the survey. Most Canadians don't think they will stay in the same vocation for their entire career. So nearly 3/4, so 73% of the people who answered the survey said that they do not expect to remain in the same profession for life. So that's most people believe that there will be a shift at some point in their life as to their interests or their ambition in terms of their career. So if you are considering making a career change, there's some things that you should think about before you make this decision. So making a career change is a major decision, and it's a time-consuming process, and it needs to be handled with intention and forethought. So you need to be prepared ahead of time if you are going to take these steps to switch careers, whether it's in the same industry or within a new industry. So you have to consider your readiness in moving forward. Are you ready to make this commitment and this change? The reasons why you want to leave your current employment. So it could be that the environment that you're in right now is toxic or is not helpful for your wellness. So you need to consider, is it the job itself? Is it the company that I'm working for? Is it the industry that I'm in? And trying to figure out why you're not liking the work you're doing right now, or why you would like to change your work. And then finally, the steps you need to take to be successful in this transition. So thankfully, you're all here. I have another person arriving. So you're getting kind of a head start if this is something you're thinking of, maybe changing careers or industries or even just jobs in general. So you need to be aware of what you actually need to do. Okay, so the very first step is to do a personal inventory. So this is really looking inwards and thinking about what you want out of your work, what you're getting right now out of your work that you like, that you don't like. So your current job satisfaction. So how much do you enjoy what you're doing now? Your likes and dislikes in general and work related, your skills, so what you bring to the table, your values, what you find important, your interests, so what kind of sparks your interest, what makes you want to do more, and then significant events in your career. So this could be what has happened when you've gotten a promotion, what has happened when you've had a big project completed, what was the outcome of that? Was there recognition that you enjoyed? Was there conflict, or was there pressure? that kind of information is really important because it can help guide you into your next job, thinking about, okay, what kind of environment do I want to be in? What kind of work do I want to do? And then what reaction or what result do I need to be fulfilled in this job? So we're going to look at the SWOT technique. So this is something that you can do in a journal. That's my preference for doing things, is to write things down, because once you get it on paper, then you can kind of process it a little bit more. So this technique is looking at your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So when you're looking to change careers or change jobs even, you want to consider your strengths. So what do you bring to the table? What do you do well? What do you enjoy? So it could be your skills, your experience, your education, your interests, your qualities, your positive qualities, your resources. So if you have a strong network or you have people that you can reach out to, your achievements, what you've done in the past, and then what sets you apart. So what makes you unique for going into this new career. So in this top box, you would put in all of your strengths, and then right next to it, you would write down your weaknesses. So anything that you need to improve on going into this new stage of life, what makes it difficult for you to achieve goals. So it could be kind of barriers to you personally, and then what you're lacking in order to move into that new career. So do you need more education? Do you need a different training? Are you looking for, do you need some experience in this new field? So all the things that you would need in order to get to this next step. Down here, you're going to write in your opportunities. So what are the external resources that you can reach out to? What does the job market look like right now? If there's a good trend for the thing that you're interested in, that's going to help you. And then also looking at what's popular, what's needed in your area. Those are all opportunities for you to take advantage of. And then finally, in this lower box here, these are your threats. So things that would make it difficult outside of yourself to make a transition into a new career. So it could be a bad or unstable market. So if there's no prospects, no job opportunities for you to actually go into this area that you're interested in, that would be a threat to your job search or your career transition. There's any risks. So if you're going into a new career, a new industry, you're probably going to have to start off in entry-level jobs again. So are you able to take the risk of having a lower income in this new area? So that's something that you need to consider. Also, are there any competitors? So if there are a lot of people that have the education or the experience, or of only a few opportunities and there's a lot of people that are interested in the area you're looking at, that could be another threat to your career shift. So these are all things just to start considering. So I would suggest that you draw this little box and fill in your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and the threats to your career change, and just kind of think out what could happen, and just consider some of the options. So again, this is all part of that that first step of taking account of where you are now, where you would like to go, moving forward. All right, so we're going to look at 8 practical steps once you've decided that you want to change jobs, what you should be doing. So just briefly, the first step is to decide if you want to change industries, brainstorm careers. Number 3, research potential job matches. 4, make an action plan. 5, rebrand yourself. 6, use your network. 7, consider educational resources. And 8, develop new skills. So step 1, do you want to change industries? So you need to consider, do you want to change industries completely, change the field, or are you looking for a shift in a different position within the same industry? So for example, if you're an IT programmer, but you don't want to do programming anymore, maybe you would like to work as a recruiter within a programming company. So then you're still using the skills that you've had as an IT programmer, but you're now in a different role with different responsibilities within the same industry. So that's definitely something that you need to consider. If you decide on changing industries, there could be a bigger impact in terms of the need for you to get extra education or training, or do some volunteering or get experience in a different way in this new industry. And the process will be a little bit different. Step 2, you're going to brainstorm careers. So you're going to get a sheet of paper or put it on your computer and just write down all the careers that interest you. Make a big list. Anything that you are interested in, that you think is cool, that you think it would be fulfilling to you, that matches with your skills or that doesn't. So it's really just a first brainstorm, just put everything on the page. You might want to do some research. You can get creative. You can talk to other people who have a job that you might find interesting. You can talk to other people who have jobs that they love, and that's the kind of job that you want to get, is something that you really enjoy. You can do an internet search of jobs in your field of interest. If you're not quite sure, like, okay, like I'm interested in fine arts, but like what kind of job can you get in fine arts? You could just do a Google search, fine arts jobs, and it will bring up a whole bunch of different ideas. You can also take a career aptitude test. There's a bunch of them online that you can take, and most of them will just ask you questions as to what interests you. So it might be a statement, and then it tells you to answer, does this sound like you or it doesn't? And you need to click a yes or a no. And at the end, you get almost like a personality profile, and it gives you some careers that might be a good fit for what you're interested in. I do have a website that I'll give you at the end for this career aptitude test if it's something you're interested in. Step 3, so is to research your potential job matches. So you're going to take your big list, your big brainstorm list, and you're going to pick a few that that you like the most, that would be the most realistic for you, and that you believe would be the best fit. And you're going to find out more about them. So you're going to do some research about what the qualifications are, what skills you would need in this position, the education or training that you might need to be successful. So this could involve just looking up some job ads. So if you're interested in being a human resources consultant, you could just Google, or just Google HR consultant, and some job ads will pop up. You click on one and you just see what the description is. What are they looking for? What kind of qualifications or training? And that will give you a good clue. You're also going to look at what the job market looks like. So are there a lot of people that are looking for someone in the position you're interested in? Are there a lot of jobs available? What is the average entry-level salary? That might be a really important one if you're switching industries, especially, because that is a risk, as we had talked about earlier. One of the threats to your career change might be the financial aspect. So if you know the average entry-level salary, you can kind of make a financial plan that will help you in your transition so that you're not stuck getting in debt or not being able to pay your bills if you make your transition now. So that's something to consider and research when you're doing this, this kind of narrowing down of your list. You can talk to someone in that industry. So consider having an informational interview with a professional who currently works in a field or a job that you're interested in. So yesterday, if you were here yesterday for the networking session, this is where your network is going to be crucial. I believe that career changes or career shifts are really the biggest part of, or the biggest, where you have the biggest need for a really strong network. So if you've been doing all your networking tasks, then you will have the chance to meet people in the field that you're interested in. You can reach out to them, you can talk to them about current opportunities. You can talk to them, you can actually let them know, you know, I'm making this career change. I'm going from this field to this field, and I wonder, like, how did you get into the job you're in now? What were the steps that you took? And people are really great. Most people will want to help you. So just strike up a conversation with people in your network. If you don't have anyone in your network that you know in the industry you're interested in, you can look at, you know, expanding your network, finding out what companies in the area or within the industry. We'll talk about the network in a few slides as well. Another few options that you can do when you're still doing your research on which job or career that you would like to pursue, you can do job shadowing. So if there's someone that you know who does the job you're interested in, you can ask them, you know, can I come in for a day and just kind of see what it's like to work in this job? You can do some volunteering in the industry you're interested in. Or you can do an internship if that's something that is available. Internships are not always paid, so this is something that you would need to consider as well. So these are other ways to try a new career and see if you like the work before you actually make the commitment to switch over. Because what some people might do is to just jump right into a new career and then find out a little bit later that they really don't like it or that it's not a good fit. So it's always great if you have the chance to kind of try it on for a little bit and see if you like it before you make that major shift. Step number 4 is to make an action plan. So once you've chosen your new career to pursue, you're going to make an action plan. You're going to write down what are the steps to get to your new career goal. So what do you need to do? What do you need to learn? What do you need to develop in order to be successful in your new career? So you could consider speaking with a career coach or counselor. They can kind of help you create this action plan. So this is kind of a goal setting step, and we will be doing a session on goal setting next week. So if you are interested in learning more about creating an action plan and goal setting, please come to that. It's going to be next Wednesday at 2 p.m. You can get some insight from other professionals or contact professional bodies for guidance on education and training. So most professions will have some sort of professional body or governing body that will set the standard for what you need in order to work in a certain field. So for example, if you want to be an esthetician, there's the Cosmetology Association here in New Brunswick. So you contact them, get more info on, you know, what courses do I need to take? Do I have to do a whole new diploma or degree? Is there workshops you can take or experience that you can gain through different avenues. So that would be something that you could reach out to them to see what do you actually need to get where you want to go. And consider creating a visual reminder of your goals, such as a timeline or a goal sheet. There's also a goal ladder or backwards goals. So you start with your major goal at the top, and then you kind of come down. What is the step before that? What's the step before that? What's the step before that? And then you kind of create this step ladder or step ladder that tells you, okay, you get to this step, and then this is the next thing that you need to do, the next thing that you need to do. So we'll talk about some of those goal setting techniques next week. So if you want to learn more, join us. Okay, step 5. This one is very, very important if you are switching careers in terms of industry. So step 5 is to rebrand yourself. When you're starting a new career, you want to review your professional identity. So you're going to need to change your resume to reflect your new career aspirations. So if your resume, for example, if you were an IT professional and your resume is really filled with all those IT skills and experiences, that's wonderful, but it may not be relevant to the new field that you're looking at. So, for example, if you're looking to switch from IT to maybe a business background, like do you have experiences in business through your IT work that you can put into your new resume that will be more focused on your business skills. So you can consider using a hybrid structure for your resume. So a hybrid structure is really focused more on the skills that you bring rather than the job experiences that you have. So for most people, a standard resume will have your contact info, your skills, just kind of in point form, and then your job experience. So the position you had, and then your responsibilities, and then the next position, then your responsibilities. Whereas a hybrid structure will have your skills as paragraphs. So instead of listing responsibilities under your job title, you're going to pick your skill and then put in point form, what are the times that you use this skill? So instead of having a big section for your employment and a small section for skills, you're going to have a big section for skills and a small section for employment, where you would just have your job title and where you worked and how long you were there. I'm trying to find an example here in a minute. And then you also want to review your online professional profiles, your business cards, your contact information, if it's industry specific. So when you're looking at doing a career change, you're going to change the way that you present yourself, right? So if you were an IT professional, again, you would, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Danielle. I work in IT. But if you're switching to business, then you would now introduce yourself as, hi, I'm Danielle. I am in the business industry. This is, I'm an entrepreneur or something like that. So it's really changing your professional identity to match your aspirations now. What is the career that you want now? Step 6, use your network. I've mentioned this before. So a strong professional network is an excellent tool for finding work in general, but it will be especially useful when you're changing careers. If you, for a lot of people, your professional network is going to look, kind of similar to yourself. You're going to surround yourself with people that are in similar jobs or in similar industries. But when you're switching to something completely different, you're going to have to expand that network. and try and find ways to meet people that are different. So you're going to connect with people who work in the industry you're interested in. You're going to talk to people that love their work and have the job satisfaction that you want. So that's another thing. Not only talking to people that do the work that you want to do, but also people that have the job satisfaction that you want to do, that you want to have, the happiness, or the what would be another word, the fulfillment that comes from doing their work. And kind of find out, like, how do you get that? How did you develop that? Was there something, is it just the work? Is it the environment that you're working in? Is it the company that you're working in? Like, get some information as to how they achieve that job satisfaction. And you're going to reach out and share your journey and desire to enter this new field. There are many people who would be very happy to help you. People are surprising in that way when you tell them that, I've been doing one thing, but I'm really interested in this other thing, and I'm kind of beginning that process of switching over, and, like, can you give me some advice? What did you do to get to where you are today? And you'll find out that a lot of people are in jobs now and careers now that they weren't in several years before. When we looked at the stats at the very beginning of the presentation, you can see most people have had a lot of jobs in their career, and most of them have changed career fields. So it's something that's very common here in Canada. So it wouldn't be surprising to them if you're asking for some help. Okay, step 7, educational resources. To change careers, you may need to upgrade your education and training through some formal courses. So before you commit to a full degree, you might want to consider attending some free webinars or workshops that are a couple days, or some short-term trainings to get a feel for what you might do in your new career. So again, it's this idea that you get to try it before you actually, jump in with both feet and commit to something that's going to cost a lot of money and take a lot of time. Just so that you make sure that you actually, know what you're getting into and you like it. So there's plenty of free virtual opportunities to learn. And you might want to consider contacting professional associations in your field of interest for guidance on those training opportunities. So here's a stat here that 47% of people enrolled in education and training programs in order to change careers. So this is something that is very common. Yes, very common and not necessarily easy, but there are a lot of opportunities available if you do need extra training or you would like to learn more about the job that you're interested in. And then the final step 8, is that you can actually start developing new skills in your current job. So get involved with some new projects or tasks that are related to the job that you want. So in that way, you can gain and develop some new skills that you can include on your new resume that are relevant for the position that you actually want in the future. So for example, if you are currently working as an admin assistant, but you would like to pursue accounting, you could talk to your supervisor or manager and ask to help with payroll or with the creation of a budget for a project. So that way you're getting some experience in working in more of an accounting role, and you're going to develop some skills through the help of your supervisor that will contribute to your future career. Now, it's really important that when you're asking for these opportunities to kind of gain skill, you're actually doing it for yourself and for the company that you already work for. So being able to develop your skills to do payroll or create a budget is not only going to help you gain some skill, it's also going to help the supervisor maybe have somebody else be able to do that work. And if you do a good job, that's really great. both for you and for your current employer. And you never know, maybe there's an accounting position that opens up and then they already know who you are. And then there's also always the option of volunteering in your field to gain specific skills or experience. So it's important to note that career changes take time, but it doesn't mean that you have to wait in order to develop the skills that you'll need when you do your career transition. You can use the job or the work that you're doing already to develop new skills and to kind of get that in-job experience that will contribute to your success later. So here's a little bit of advice from other people who have made a career change. Prepare yourself to run a marathon rather than a sprint, because although shortcuts are handy, in reality, few exist when you're trying to create a meaningful career change. So as I said before, career changes can take a long time. So you got to be ready and have that in mind when you're starting this process. It's not going to be immediate, but you will get there. You will get there if you do all the steps that you need. As a career changer, invest extra time and effort in crafting your career narrative so others can more easily connect the dots between what you have done and what you want to do. So on paper, on a resume, it might be difficult for someone to kind of make sense of, okay, you have all this background in IT, but you're applying for an accounting position. Like, what does that mean? I'm very confused. So you can take the opportunity in your cover letter to kind of explain your journey and how you've gotten to this point of wanting to apply to an accounting position when you have IT experience. When you're talking to people in your network or other professionals, you want to be able to explain how you've gotten from the point you were before to this new career transition that you're trying to do. So take some time, write some notes down. Like, think about, okay, like where has the shift happened? Like, what made me think, okay, I would really like to be interested in, or I would really like to pursue something else. What got you to this point? So that you can help other people, employers, people in your network, new professionals that you're going to be connecting with, anyone that you're, volunteer with or having a conversation with about career choices. It's really good to know, like, okay, like on paper, it would look really weird, but if I can explain it, then it makes a lot more sense. Reserve judgment and expectation until after you dip your toe in the waters you're exploring, so you can cast the net widely. Dispel your preconceived notions and understand which realities ultimately resonate with you. So this quote is really just saying, try it before you make a commitment. Don't jump into it thinking I'm gonna love this, it's gonna be amazing, like it's gonna be the answer to all of my problems. No, like try it out, see what happens. Be objective about it in some ways, do I like this? Is this interesting to me? Do I think I can do this as a job, full-time, part-time? I know some people who have, instead of having a full-time job in the thing that they're really passionate in, they have a part-time job, and then they do something else to kind of, fill the gap, but also passion can be really tiring sometimes. So you don't want to be fully into it all the time if that's too much for you. So this quote is really to say, try it out, see what you like, see what you don't like. Not every job is going to be perfect. So, get an idea of what the upsides are, what the downsides are, and give yourself really a chance to get to know this new career, this new work, before you make a decision. Trust your inner intuition because it often points your career in a direction that truly honors who you are, even when it flies in the face of logic. So sometimes you need to trust your heart more than your head. So this is really talking about, your emotional connection to the work that you do. Sometimes it might be, the most logical to stay where you are and be safe, or maybe just, switch careers in terms of just changing to a different company, but staying in the same position. But then it's really questioning, okay, like, do I like the work that I'm doing? Do I feel good about this? Is it something that that gives me joy, that gives me energy, that makes me happy at the end of the day, or that makes me feel fulfilled in some way? So your heart and your gut are intuitions that you do need to consider and look at, and really ask yourself, okay, does this feel right to me? Something could be completely logically make absolute sense, and then you get into it and you're like, I feel horrible, or I am bored, or I am so overwhelmed, like, oh my goodness. So you need to check that intuition. I have a question here. Oh no, thank you, Ellen. So changing careers is not easy. You want to keep yourself motivated by tracking your progress using a timeline or a spreadsheet or some other visual reminder of your goals. I like to use a vision board, which is a more creative way of doing it. I know some people have made, like, if you're, like a staircase, and you put all of your steps, and then you can kind of check off what you've done, to-do list or a checklist. Those are all things that can kind of help you stay on track and also not get too discouraged when things are kind of slow. Acknowledge the small victories and log each milestone you reach. Yeah, acknowledging those small things is really important. It keeps you motivated. It gives you a little bit of a chance to kind of have a mini celebration, like, oh my gosh, I finished this workshop. Like, that's one more step closer to my goal. Let's go out to dinner. Or I'm gonna we do this all the time, me and my husband, we get Dairy Queen ice cream cake, just to celebrate, just to have a little something to recognize that we've reached a goal, even if it's a small one. So there's a note, a stat: 62% of people who switched careers planned well in advance, and on average, it took them 11 months to get finally into this new career, from the beginning of their planning to do the transition to when they actually had a new job in a new career. So it's gonna take a while, and it's really important that you keep motivated. You want to pursue your energy instead of passion. Some people see passion as kind of the be all end all, but you want to make sure that you're pursuing energy. You're pursuing things that give you energy, that make you feel good, that don't make you feel completely drained at the end of the day. In the example that I said before, you might have something that you're really passionate about, but you can only do it part-time. So maybe there's something else that you can kind of fill in the financial or the time gap to kind of keep you going, so that you're not completely drained at the end of the week. Make time for your career change and be intentional. This is so, so important. It's you're not going to be successful if you don't actually, take the time to do a personal inventory, figure out what you want, make an action plan, meet with people who are in the industry that you're interested in. Being intentional is so important. Then embrace your unique journey and believe in yourself. Some people may go into this career transition and think, oh my goodness, like, I'm applying for this role and I have no experience. I don't have the education. Like, my background's in this, and like, they're never going to pick me. Well, employers love having a diverse group of people in their company to bring in new perspectives, to bring in different skills. So embrace your unique journey. Take a look at what is your narrative, what is your story, from where you were to where you are now, where you were to where you are now, and be confident about that. You've done a lot of things in the past, and it's really great that you are challenging yourself and that you're trying something new and that you're following the things that you enjoy. This word here, Wolamsidas, is it's a Willistic Way word for believe in yourself. So this is kind of a personal mantra of mine, because I have worked with the First Nations community here in Fredericton, and Wolamsidas has always spoken to me. So I'm going to offer it to you as well. So it is a Maliseet or a Willistic word, and it means believe in yourself. Now, I know that I've talked about, oh my goodness, so how hard this is to make this career transition. So there is some hope for your future. So here's some statistics from a survey that was done in 2021. People who made a career change reported being happier, more satisfied, more fulfilled, and less stressed. So these are all great things. And as we had talked about very, very early on in the presentation, a lot of people make a career change because it's too stressful where they are, or they don't have the opportunities that they're looking for. So if you do decide to make this career change and take the leap, know that you will more than likely be happier, satisfied, fulfilled, and less stressed by this new work. And then they also surveyed specifically people who changed careers for better pay earned on average $10,800 more than their previous job. So that is also incentive, is that if that is something that's important to you, that you need, is that higher pay. If you do make a career change, it's likely that you will actually get that higher pay. Here are all the references that I used for this presentation. I'm going to draw your attention to one here. Which one is it? Here, this balancecareers.com. So there's free career aptitude tests on this particular site. So if you want to check it out, it's just thebalancecareers.com, and then you can find their career aptitude tests on their website. That's something that you're interested in doing. All right, so that is the end of my presentation. Let me just check the time here. Perfect. All right. So if you would like to connect with Employment Coach, you can email us at employme@mcaf.nb.ca. If you have any questions, I will take them now. So you can either unmute yourself or put them in the chat, whatever you prefer. Any questions about job transitions, exploring new jobs, even like the education part of it, anything like that?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Ellen speaking.
Hi, Ellen.
How are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fine. I like it very much, the topic today. I would like to ask you, because I started working here, but it was like I worked from home, receiving calls, and now I'm going to work at an office, an administrative office. And I know that when we come from another country, we were used to some things in the environment and the way that people talk and the way that people behave in a professional environment. And I suppose that here it could be a little bit different. So if you could maybe think about something in that way, I think that would be really very interesting to see, because as it is a different culture, I think it's like I would like to behave in a way that is more like people are used here, so that I can have a good relationship with my colleagues, because I know that this will help me to learn better the activities and to have better days. You know what I mean?
Yes. So we are actually having a workplace culture presentation. It
Mhm.
will be not next week, but the week after. I think it's on the 11th, 10th or 11th, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, our new schedule for May will be up shortly. If it's not today, it will probably be but before the end of the week on our Facebook page, and it'll be sent out as well with the May newsletter. So we are working on a workplace culture presentation that will talk about, you know, what kind of conversations you have, communication, what's common in our Canadian workplaces that might not be common in others. So we are working on that. Thank you for bringing that up because it just affirms that yes, we're doing work that's important to you guys. So
Thank you.
you're
And
welcome.
another question. My son is 14 years old and he's in the 9th grade now, high school. And he's already thinking about his future, what he's going to choose for college or university. And do you think that that test you just showed us would be interesting for him to take,
Yeah,
about what he
so
likes, his preferences, and so on?
yeah, this presentation is a bit more for older, but obviously we're recording today, so it will be posted on our YouTube page. It could be something that would be interesting to him because he, you know, he doesn't currently have a career. I am working on a career presentation specifically for youth. That will be, I'll be recording it and posting it on our YouTube page as well. So I can
Oh,
definitely
mhm.
let you know when that's up. And if he would like to kind of talk about that, you can contact me directly. I'll put my email in the chat. If he does
Thank you,
want to
Danielle.
yeah, no problem. If any of you would like to sit down or just contact me if you have any questions about this stuff, like if you're looking at changing careers and you're not quite sure where to get the training or certifications or whatever, I can help you with that process. And as Ellen said, if you have a child or a teenager at home that might be thinking about what they want to do in the future, I can help them with that as well. They just want to sit down and kind of have a brainstorm and kind of, you know, talk about what they're interested in and what might what a career path might look like for the specific job they're looking at. We can definitely do that. But I will be posting, hopefully by the end of the week, I will have that presentation for the youth put up on our YouTube page. So I'm working on that.
Oh, very happy to hear that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Congratulations for the great presentation.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's always nice to have people who want to participate and show up. It's great.
Hi Danielle, Jyoti here.
Hi Jyoti.
I just want to check if there will be any employment coach who will work with us when we want to have the change of career. You know, because I've been into retail industry back in my country in India,
Okay.
but I'm not looking at getting into retail, and I want to change my career path.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure as to where I can start with. So is there anybody who can work, who I can work with, like an employment coach?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can, if you'd like to work with me, you can send me an email directly, or if
Oh,
you're,
sure.
not quite sure, you can email our general email, just the employme@mcaf.mb.ca, and we can definitely help you with that. What I would
Per-
suggest before you reach
Mhm.
out is to kind of do that kind of brainstorming of what you would be interested in, and then kind
Right.
of narrow it down to a couple options. And then once you get to meet with an employment coach, then we can kind of help you with that, with what the next step would be, that action planning, and
Yeah, got
finding your education or whatever you need for the job that you
right.
want. Yeah,
Right. I got that. Thank you.
you're welcome. Anyone else have a question?
Yeah. Hi, Shailaja here.
Hi.
Can I know your name because it is displaying as the MCA of
Oh,
Employment Services?
yes. My name is
It's
Danielle.
Danielle, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Danielle. Shailaja here once again. I'm also from India, and seriously, I'm not looking for a career change, but after going through the session, I just have a few doubts about career change. Okay. Because see. By end of the session, I could get few points from you that what is the effort when we change our career and all. But how about the employer side? Like, will they give a chance when they have ready people to work in the same industry with good experience? Why the employers will give a chance to the people like you are looking for a career change, and will they be considered as freshers? Like I have a doubt this.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. So on the employer's end, if
Yes.
if you were applying to a job, you're asking if the employer will give you the same chance as somebody else who has I guess the background. Is that what you're asking? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suppose the example is I'm an IT person having 3 to 4 years of experience, and I want to get into a non-IT industry. Okay, because I'm completely new to this industry. Okay, so why employer will choose me for non-IT position with a background of IT experience, though why will they consider my enthusiasm and how it is going to help the employer in their company and for their growth?
Okay, so one thing that you can do is we can look at your resume and make sure that it's relevant to the positions that you're applying to. And the other thing that we can do is when you're writing your cover letter, so if you're applying to jobs that are outside of your background or your industry, it would be extremely important to write a solid cover letter that explains why you're making this switch. So there are certain skills that are kind of relevant all over the place. So if you have like leadership skills, management, communication, what else? Accountability, goal setting. So these are things that are relevant all across jobs, and that would be an asset to an employer. So what we can do is kind of tailor, you might have your IT position, but what are the things that you did during your time in IT that were relevant to the new job that you're applying for? So did you lead a team? Were you supervising others? Did you take charge of a project? So it would be focusing more on the soft skills rather than the hard skills, the IT specific ones. So that would be kind of working with an employment coach one-on-one. I'm trying to think of other things. So on the employer's end, as I said earlier, employers like to have a diverse group of people that will bring new perspectives. So that's something that you can kind of promote in yourself, is that you have this other background that would be useful to the employer. So that's something that you can put in your cover letter. Once you get an interview, that's something that you can really highlight, is that, you know, I have these experiences that I believe would be assets and that would be even more helpful to your company, to the position, to the team, whatever it might be. Like, for example, you have a background in IT. What did you do in IT?
Yeah, Danielle, actually, in general, I asked you the question. My background is HR and I have 5 years of experience.
Okay.
And as I told you in the beginning, I'm not looking for a career change. As a HR, I just wanted to, check with you, about employer requirements and the interest of taking the candidates who are looking for a career change, how it is going to be benefit for the company, because I'm also an immigrant. I'm looking for a job here now. I'm attending many sessions by MCAF and other trainings provided by the government, but still I'm facing a problem to get a job in my relevant field with 5 years of experience, and I have a master's degree in a relevant field too. But still, when I go through the job description, they are looking for many other aspects. Okay, and how far it is a good idea of changing the career, and how it is going to affect us, like, is it a good wise decision of changing the career with leaving our previous experience and the qualifications, and facing the new industry. I just have these queries because that's the reason I just wanted some clarity. So I attended this session.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's changing careers is a big decision to make if you do decide to make it.
Yeah.
What I would suggest is maybe send me an email and we could set up a time to meet in person and we can kind of talk about your situation
Yeah,
specifically.
sure. Yeah, no problem.
Because I think that would be more useful than me kind of giving you general ideas. And I will look into, I know that there's been a lot of openings at the university here in Fredericton, in kind of a administrative HR area. So I'm going to take a look at that and see if there's anything that might be interesting to you. If you have a master's degree, like, I don't see any reason why employers wouldn't.
Yeah, please
hire
let me
you
know if I
or
have
wouldn't.
any openings in any area. I'm especially looking for public sector right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, please let me know if I have any openings. Anyways, my profile is with there with you people. Like,
Yes.
I'm already registered and I'm going through all the job postings in MCAF FB page. Okay, but I'm not finding many, in HR field. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Danielle.
So if you just want to send me an email, we can set up a time to meet. We'll be in the office starting next week, so we can meet in person. Yay!
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to meet you in person and discuss.
I know.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks for your time.
Does anyone else have a question or a comment? Okay. If nobody else has a question, we'll wrap up. Thank you all so much for coming and for participating. It's always great to have people asking questions and people attending our sessions, because it lets us know that you are actually interested in what we're doing and that we're picking the right topics. If you do have any suggestions for us, you can send us an email for sure if there's anything that you're not seeing in our calendar. We will have the May sessions posted before the end of the week, so you can look forward to those. As I mentioned before, there will be no problem. There'll be a couple sessions.
Danielle, I have one more question. Yeah.
Go ahead.
The one who asked the question before me was asking for career counseling about her son.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, this answer is for her, and I don't remember her name. And my son is also in FHS, and he's studying in high school, because there is a career counseling session will be conducted by the school for the parents, including the kids. Okay.
Yes.
So that will be helpful for them initially, and they can better understand what are the courses and I know what kind of course they can take for a particular career. So based on that, they can decide their career. Okay. So if she has any questions, she can contact me or, mail me so that I will guide her. Okay. And apart from this, if you can help her, that is great. Yeah. Just as a mother of the same, the class what my son is studying, I just wanted to share my experience with her.
Yes. And if anyone else has youth or children that they know that are kind of thinking about this career path stuff, we will be at the child and youth, what is it? The recreation fair that MCAF is hosting in our wellness center on May 13th.
Yes, I have already registered for my son, but it is for +2 candidates, I think, right? It is not for 10th, 9th, or 10th. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have a booth there if people want to just come and chat or get some information or whatever. Myself and Henrietta will be there on that day. Nelson, did you have a question? I saw that you had your hand up. Are there any other questions? All right. Thank you all again for coming. No problem. We will see you next week. There will be an Ask an Employment Coach session this Friday at 2 p.m. So if you have any questions that you come up with before the end of the week, come and join us. It'll be myself and 2 other employment coaches this week. And we would love to see you if you have any questions, and we can give you a hand with that. As I mentioned earlier, there will be a goal setting session next week, which would be useful in this action planning for your career change. I believe it is on Wednesday at 2 p.m. So if you want to join us for that as well. All right. Yes, Rohini, if you would like to send me an email, and I will get you in contact with an employment coach, or you can send us an email, the employmee@mcaf.nb.ca, and we'll find someone to connect you with the types of jobs you're looking for. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you, Danielle. Thanks for the session too. Yeah.
You're welcome.